We got a great game in Sioux Falls. Everybody wondering why the hell Auburn and Baylor played in Sioux Falls, but that crowd got treated to a hell of a game. Never more than 8 points either way. Auburn looked like they had control. Baylor kind of comes back late here. Jacoby Walter, Baylor's freshman, carried him early. But then, honestly, Ray J. Dennis, the Toledo transfer, makes some big plays late. They're up 4 right now with 27.3 seconds left. How big a win would this be, Mac, for Baylor to be able to pull it off the way they did? Really not being in control the whole game and being able to go home with a win like this for a program that, again, they've got a lot of new dudes on this team.
Yeah, they sure do. That'd be a great win for Coach Drew. I mean, you think about it. You just talked about Ray J. Dennis and him making some plays down the stretch, but at halftime he had 7 turnovers, and they looked out of sorts. I thought the game, just watching from afar, seemed super physical. A lot of hand checks not being called, a lot of legal ball screens not being called, like two teams really athletic going at it. You mentioned Jacoby Walter. Wow. What a freshman. And this is an NCAA tournament game, just watching these two teams battle it out. You talked about not really having those type of games to start the season, but this sure is one.
Yeah, I commend both of these coaches, right? Bruce Pearl, Scott Drew, for playing a game like this. Again, the only thing I would say, and it's a good atmosphere in a neutral court, I would have loved to have a home and home starting off. I just think those atmospheres are better for the game than playing on. We've gotten into this neutral court thing so much now. How deflating is this for Auburn, Tyler? They came in unranked. This would have been a huge win for them. And right now they're down 3 with 19 seconds left. Still have a chance, but how tough would it be to go home from Sioux Falls with a loss?
That's a tough way to start your season, but you got to realize, Baylor's a quality team. So unlike a lot of these schools that play these D2 schools and just get an easy win, I respect Auburn, stepping up and taking on Baylor right away. But also, one thing I do respect is Scott Drew. He trusts his freshmen. Last year, Keontae George, he let him run and get some buckets up. And now this year, the Walters kid going at it again. I mean, I respect him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the one thing I would say about Auburn that worried me last year and worries me again this year a little bit, point guard play. Trusting your point guard. And again, Ray J. Dennis struggled in the first half, but at least he is a veteran, and he kept his poise in this one. We'll kind of break it down here at the end, Mac. Auburn fouls Baylor. Yeah, about 16 seconds left. You're just trying to extend the game as much as you can right now if you're Auburn, if you're Bruce Pearl.
First time going to the free throw line. This will be interesting. There you go.
Yeah, Ray J. Dennis. Key addition, one of the biggest, honestly, one of the biggest keys in the country. He comes in as a point guard who replaces L.J. Cryer left.
L.J. Cryer leaves,
out. Flagler graduate, he left. So really they had their backcourt last year. Now you had to fill that void, and Ray J. Dennis hits the first one. So he's come up huge here. That to me says a ton about a kid. Like a mid-major player who transfers up, he's playing in one of the biggest stages of his career, right? And like you said, he's awful first half. Awful.
Yeah.
And somehow he finds a way at the end of the game, he hits another one. 2 free throws, making big plays. That's a lot mental toughness, man, right?
I mean, understand, like he played in the MAC, and I know it's not a power conference, but like he's used to playing against really good guards and really good competition. And for him to be able to shake off having 7 turnovers in the first half and be as poised as he was in the second half, go to the free throw line with 16 seconds left in a 1-possession game where he hadn't been in the line yet. It's one thing if you're in a groove, you've been in the free throw line 8 times, you know how it feels, but you get there 39 minutes and 44 seconds into the game with the game on the line. It's 2 big free throws, but he's been there before.
Where you've watched Jacoby Walter here for a little bit, Tyler. I mean, it's your first look at him. I haven't seen him play much either, but man, he looks the part. You know, sometimes when you just look at a kid for a little while, you're like, all right, he's that big wing. You know, he's not a prolific scorer. At least that's not Scott Drew told me. Today he was. You know, today he's put up big numbers. All right, here we go. Auburn. This one's going to be over. They missed the layup, and looks like Baylor's going to seal the deal. And Scott Drew is showing some emotion there. Showing some emotion because, again, this is a huge comeback. What Jacoby Walter, what were your first impressions on him, Tyler?
This is a big time game, and you know sometimes these freshmen, especially he's one of the I would say one of the top freshmen coming in this year in the country. But he's got size, he's got strength, and sometimes these players can just come in right away and just really adapt athletically when they're gifted and they get their confidence up. I can imagine how excited he was to step on the court tonight. I'm with you, though. I don't like the neutral games. I'd rather be at home, see the fans, get some students involved. I like it. But the other thing I want to say to Mac's point and, to the transfer, there's a lot of value in these veteran players. And I realize he's a senior transfer when I saw that. And that's one value to this portal is don't underestimate experience. And some of these guys who have played a lot of college basketball coming over and some of these schools getting these kids in the portal and having a big contribution to their team. I think that's kind of an underrated aspect that a lot of people don't really look at as these older players in the portal.
All right, so Bruce Pearl, but how about this stat? You know what his record was coming into tonight in season openers in his career? 27-1. 27-1 in his career. Bruce Pearl may play a cupcake next year, Mac. This may be it.
I'm gonna say he didn't play a lot of Baylor's in opening game one. I can tell you that.
And he may not go for my new idea. My new idea is 16 teams playing the first week. You pick the teams, the matchups out of a hat in May 1st, and 16 teams with coaches with job security. You know, everybody, Alabama, Arkansas, Baylor, Auburn, Virginia, teams like that, Purdue, get 16 of them, and you play, 2 games on Monday. You're not going to play it on ESPN. You're going to play it on FS1 because of Monday Night Football. Couple on Tuesday, couple on Wednesday on the Deuce because you have NBA on ESPN, and you finish up Thursday and Friday. I think it'd be something great to have for the sport.